Okay,
Okay.
and I'll see if I can share my screen with you here. Let's see. Okay, oh cool, so let me pick which screen I want to share. I haven't done this before. Let's go, okay, so you're seeing my Maya now, yeah?
Yes.
Okay, cool. So what we're trying to do basically is we're just gonna, like, it's a simple constraint, but we're gonna put a couple things between the two things that are getting constrained, just so that you can still move them around. Like, I'll show you why. So if I was to just parent constrain say this ball to his wrist, this is what I did the first time on my assignment. I kind of rushed it. I started posing it, and I had to go back and do it all this week. But then we'll go, say if we're constraining the wrist, it'd be a constrainer, constraint. It's the opposite of parenting. Like, usually when you're parenting something, it's like or child parent. But for whatever reason, when you constrain, they've set it up differently. All right, yeah, so animation. Okay, so it's in the animation tab up here. Then you got constrain. Oh man, my screen's going crazy. So, okay, let's constrain. Huh? Maybe it's a resolution thing. I'll just do it in the small one here. Constraint. Oh, okay. Yeah, is it flickering for you too? Can you see that? Or? Parent. Okay, so now I got, that's just a simple parent constraint. So I should be able to, so now I can move this around, right? This object's going to
Uh-huh.
stick to it. The only problem with doing that is, say if I wanted to move his wrist, right? And then I set a key on it, and then say I want to move the ball somewhere else. So he's done moving his wrist, say he's throwing it in a really awkward way, like a paddle flip. Uh, Move this over here. Okay, so set a key, right? That should be fine here if I move it, but then as soon as I want to set another key over here and move it, then all of a sudden I break my constraint. Or usually it even goes like, yeah, there's other problems too. Like usually, it looks like I might have turned off the blend. One sec. What's it doing that? Um, okay. Yes, and even when I do that, right, once I still have that blend parent on, it's just gonna pop right back to where it was. Like it won't stay the distance away. Um, so I'm just gonna undo all that and show you kind of a solution around that. Just go back to the beginning. Got the ball. I don't think it's constrained yet. Okay, perfect. So the trick is if you put a locator on both like his hand and on the ball, then you can still move his wrist around to keep the ball parented to it, or in your case, I guess the car. You'll have to do it with
Mhm.
both of your arms. Um, but then you can also move it too. So say if you have like the guy pushing the car and you need him to readjust one of his arms, like to pick one of his arms up off the car, you can still do that without having to like break the constraint and stuff, which is nice for just like readjusting hands. So to do that, I'm just gonna go create, and I'm just gonna create a couple of locators. Oh, my screen's going
Oh,
nuts.
it's not showing the label. Like when you click create,
Yep,
it's not showing the
the drop down menu.
yes.
Oh, okay, that's weird. Well, I'm just gonna try to share my entire monitor. One sec. This might work better if I can just share my entire left screen instead of just the window. Uh,
Okay.
let's go share screen. Okay, here we go. That's yes. Okay, so now you're seeing my whole screen, so that should be it. So if I go create, there you go.
Oh, yeah. It
Okay,
works. It works
perfect.
now.
So create locator. Yes, I'm just gonna create one and I'll duplicate it. Right now, so you can't. Sometimes what you'll have if you're like working on a shot is you won't be able to see them either because they're really small, or sometimes if you disable everything in here when you're working, except for like your polygons and your NURBS curves, you might not see it. So I'm just gonna blow that up a little bit so I can actually see it when I'm working. And you can put it right in the center of the ball. For this example, I'm not going to be too precise with it, just like kind of good enough. But you probably want to get it around 0, group it together, parent it. We'll actually have to parent it, sorry. So I have one here. I'm just going to duplicate it, and I can put one on, say, like right about on the palm of his hand where I think he'd want it. Okay, so I'm going to name these two just because it's going to get confusing, because you might have to go into the outliner. Like if they're really close or they're touching, sometimes it can get a little confusing. So just call this one hand locator. For your example, you're probably going to want to go like left hand, right hand, just yeah, or hand one, hand two, but left
Okay.
hand. So let's go some ball locator. Perfect. So we got. So then what we're gonna do is we're gonna parent the objects that we have here to our locators. So like this ball here, right? If we want it to move when the locators move. So let's go child, parent. So I'm just gonna select the two of them. You know, parent, press P, right? So
Mm-hmm.
just P on the keyboard. So now when I select this locator, right, I can move this around. But I want the same thing to happen with this. I want actually this would be the other way around. I'm gonna want this locator to move when the hand moves. So this is actually gonna be the child here. It's gonna be the parent. So now I've got it parented. I just used this one. I figured because if you parent it to this wrist bone here, I figured this yesterday when I was messing around with these rigs, is that if you do the full IKFK switch here, yeah, the blend here, so that control actually disappears and your thing will drag behind. But this the bone for this, like if you look at the rotate point for it, I'm pointing at the screen, doesn't really help, but right here, you can see that it still rotates on the same spot. So like if I parent it to that, whether I'm using FK arms or IK arms, like doing the switch, it'll always stay kind of right around that wrist bone.
Okay.
I can leave it in IK for now, I guess. So now then that seems pretty simple, but we still don't have anything. We don't have anything constrained yet. See, it's not attached. So I'll put the ball roughly in the hand here. Right. Yeah. What should we get from there? And then I'm going to constrain. I'm going to constrain these two together with a parent constraint. So with constraints, like I was saying before, it's the opposite. So usually it's the child-parent relationship. With constrainers, it's a constrainer-constrainee relationship. So this is the constrainer, meaning like the object that this is going to follow, or this will follow this. So I'll start off by selecting this. Shift select the other locator on the ball there. And then I'm going to go animation, constrain. I'm just going to use a parent constraint. You know, like if you're having something that's I'm trying to think. Maybe for your specific example, you may want to use like a point. No, you probably still want to use a parent constraint because like and just constrain the hands to the car, not the car to the hands. Because if you constrain the car to the hands, every time you move the wrists, the car is going to like rotate with the hands. Where you know you might want to be the other way so that like the hands are following the car and use IK arms. Okay,
Okay.
so I'll parent this here. So now it should work where I can move this wrist around and it's all following. But say if I wanted to have it like, if I wanted to dribble the ball, for example, I can select the ball locator, I can move it around, I can set keys on it. The only thing is if I move this, oh, interesting. Okay, maybe I have to set keys on it. Let's go set a key on this. Okay, and then let's see if I can rotate this around. Yeah, all right. So now you can sort of move it around a little bit with breaking the constraints. Although you still have to watch for the blend parent. So yeah, it'll still want to jump back there, but I can also move this one around too. So if I need to like, it just gives you a couple more points to adjust from without breaking everything basically. I don't know if that explains it too well. But just like if you want to like adjust the hand more than anything. So if I had this up here and like if I had just parented it, if I had just parented this to this, like I can move this a little bit. Move. Why is it not? Why is it breaking my constraints here? This is frustrating. Okay, so I have that set to that, right? Let's see if I can. Huh. Okay, I might have done something wrong there then. Oh crap. Like I said, like it's easy. It's no problem. Then I do the same thing. Uh, okay, there we go. I guess that's how you want to do it then. You actually want to do it in this particular case, since I constrain it to that. You have the option to move everything from the wrist here. But then if you want to move both of them, you can just select this one locator here. That's what I was trying to get at. So now I can like adjust the hands and still have it parented. So like in your case, like if the guy pulls his hand off the car, you can still like grab this constrainer here, move the hand, plant it in another part of the car, but keep it so that it's still gonna like it's still going to move with the car, if that makes sense. You know what I mean? Like if the car is moving,
Yeah.
he's in a push, and he just wants to like do a little rotation, like twist his wrist a little bit. You could do something like that, and then you could still have it stick. Although yours would be the opposite way around, because you'd actually want the hands to follow the car, not the car to follow the hands.
Yeah. Well, my last assignment I did the car was parented to the hand, so it was moving like really strange.
Okay, so you had the car parented to the hand, so every time the wrists move, the
Yeah.
car would rotate? Yeah, yeah, okay. You'd want to do it the other way and definitely use the IK hands. I guess I can try to show you that real quick, too.
Okay.
I will just delete all this. Okay, so like, I'll put these, so first, you got your arms on a FK or IK for the car, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, perfect. So just do the same sort of thing. I'm not going to pose it out nice at all. I'll just get them kind of, there you go. Uh, this will probably work. Okay, and then I'm going to create a car really quick, which is just going to be a cube. Hold on. There we go. And it's a floating car. So yeah, we can do the same thing for this one here as we did for the last one, where we just go, just name this. So I'm just going to start off by creating those locators again. So create, I'm looking right at them, I'm sure.
Down. 1, 2, 4 from the bottom.
Oh yeah, thank you. Sorry, I was looking up at the top. Blow that one up there. So like I was saying before, you'll have your right hand and your left hand example for this. We got and you'll probably want to like spend more time, obviously, getting them like just in the just right spot before you parent everything. But so, or usually what I'm doing it to is I'll leave them like right on top of each other. So like, but just for clarity and ease of showing, I'm gonna move them over a little bit. But usually, like when I would actually do the parent, this locator would be direct. Like I just Control D duplicate it, and then I'd have them like in the exact same world space.
Okay.
So actually, how do we do this? This is a little different because we have, oh right, these two are following it, so that's easy enough. So this would be, so if for this example, right, these are going to be children to the car because the car is going to move. So you probably have like a placement node or something that you use to animate your whole car, right? Like a nerve curve that you push. All right, I'm just going to use the cube for now, just for ease. But what you'd want to do is you want to actually parent these to those placement node, like the ringer on the bottom of it. But I'm just going to parent it right to the car for now. So child, parent, child's parents. So now when I move this, these two locators are going to come with it, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then we do the same thing with his hands actually here. Just hide that for a second. And then we got. So we want. Let's see if we want these to follow this. So this would be child, parents, child, parent. Just make sure I got that right. Just double check. Doesn't hurt. Yep. And yeah, looks good to me. Okay. Shoot. Thing I hid. Did I? Oh, there we go. So now I just got to do the constraint again, right? Because still, even though I've parented those, this is still going to move by itself, and these are still going to move by themselves. So I'll just do it hand by hand. So I'm going to go, let's see, if I want this to pull this, I'd go constrainer, select this first, and then select this. Although if they're on top of each other, you might have to do it in the outliner. So I didn't name any of the locators, but you'd name them when you build them, and then you just look them up in the locator, select them. So child, parent, constrainer, constrainee, constrain, and you go with a parent or a point constraint. I'll go with a parent for now. Child, constrainer, constrainee. Make sure I got that right real quick. Um, maybe not. Oh, okay, I see. There's like a bunch of locators there. Alright, I'm just gonna undo that, do it one more try. Okay, that's on the... Oh. Alright, is this... Okay. Let's go back before I started parenting things. Okay. Child, parent, parent. That's good. This is good. Child, parent. And I still have another one there. I must have duplicated that way too many times. So, oh, maybe I am doing... Let's see, if I want these to follow... Okay, I think I figured out what I'm doing wrong. This is just a little bit different than the other way. I'm going to want the wrists to actually follow this. So I'm doing it the wrong way. So that's where my problem's coming in. So I want to go child. So unparent this. Okay, so child, and this would be the parent. Reference to objects may not be parented. Oh, I see. That means I'd have to constrain that. Okay, okay, that's where it comes in. What? Didn't we just... I don't know. As I thought we just did that. I thought we just parented that to that. And we could always constrain this to this and then parent it. That would also work too. Oh, I see. Okay, the reason why it didn't work is because we're doing it the other way this time. So, okay. Alright. So if we're doing it the other way, I guess what we could do is we could parent this to this. Or this would be the parent. This would be the child. Parent this to this. So that's all moving around. And then I still have more locators there. Okay, so let me move this back to where it should be kind of. And then we can actually do the constraints like this. We could constrain this right to the right to those right to these guys here. So I'd want, this would be the, this is what's constraining, constrainer, constrainee. Let's go constrain. Is that gonna work? Could not add constraint or connections. Maybe it still has the old constraints I tried to put in which case, ugh. Doesn't look like it. Alright. Oh, man. Okay, that's what I want to do. Constrainer. Getting ahead of myself here. Okay. So then if this is all working here, if I pull this back, this is coming, so now I just gotta parent these. So child, parent. Oh, I see. What the hell? Why does it say it's one of its children? And this would be child of parent world. Okay. This is just me trying to fix mistakes that I made earlier from parenting them the wrong way. So this would be child, parent, parent. Alright, so that's unparented now. So we're gonna want to go. Yeah, that's right. So this one here, child, parent. And did I do it the wrong way again? What the? So this is pulling this. Alright, this is super weird. I don't know why I'm having so much trouble with this. I'm gonna start one more time and just clear this off, and then hopefully I'll get it proper this time. So I do know how to do this.
Okay.
I do know how to do this. It's just yeah, it's getting tripped up because I always do it the other way. I've never done it like where their hands are planted on something, so it's a little bit different. Uh,
Okay.
just delete all this. No, the constraint on this should be gone. Okay, create polygon primitive cube. I mean, if the hands don't move, there's a cheap way of doing it too, where you could just constrain that right to the thing, and then it'll move with it. But the point is you want to get the locators in there just so you have that extra like control that you can animate. Okay, down here.
Okay.
Okay, so we got locator. Okay, so this is going to be these two are going to be children of, or basically I want these two locators here to follow this. So 1, 2. So make sure I got this working. So yes, this is pulling those. Then I'm going to want these two to be pulled by these other two. So I'm going to pull this a little further away so I can do this easier. So child, come on. Alright. So that's how we want this to go, how this is going to pull this. Now I just want to get this to actually pull his arms. So I think what I was doing wrong is, since we're going to be doing this all with IK arms, we're going to actually just parent it right to the IK controller, constrain it right to the IK controller, so it's dragging his arms. So this would be, we want this to follow this. So we'll start off by selecting this, the opposite of parenting. Select this, constrain, parent. Okay, so that works. So now let's see if we have some success with this. There we go. That's what I was trying to do. It's not that hard. I just did like one wrong step before, and I constrain. And I want this to follow this. So parent. Oh, something wrong there. I want strainer. So I want, maybe it's the other way around. So it's normally child parent. Okay, this is where I always get tripped up if it's the opposite. So I want, yes, no, maybe I want that to follow this. So yeah, no, I had it right, I think. That to follow this, constrain. What the? What am I doing differently this time? I'll just try the other way. Why not? It can't hurt. Yeah, okay, so that was my issue. This is just doing it the wrong way, I guess. So I can move this guy back here. And normally you'll want to do this all, like, put everything on top of each other and then find all the things in the outliner. I'm just going to cheat it and do it like this, because there we go. So now, if the car moves, right, you can see him pushing it, and then he walks behind it. And you can also use these locators here that we got to like readjust his grip on the car and still keep that constraint. So that's kind of the whole point of it, is if you don't, once you move, like if I just constrained this to this, then as soon as I move this, this controller here, this wrist is gonna just pop right back to the same spot. So that just gives you that little bit of extra control that you need there to move the hands around and get them going, get them posed. Is that making a little bit more sense?
Oh yeah, right now it's perfectly clear, I think.
Okay, okay. Well, I'm gonna record this for Ollie too. I'll probably edit out the part where I like got everything completely wrong and I had to retry it. But yeah, I think this should. I think that's basically the idea of it anyway. Um, you
Yeah,
know.
I think I did it wrong. Like, should choose the first the child next the parent, or
Hmm.
because I tried to use it, but it didn't work out at first.
Yeah.
So
So I think what you're saying is like, did you constrain it the other way so that when you like would move the wrists, like move this, then this would rotate around the wrist, like the car would rotate around the wrist instead of the other way?
well, I didn't use this in my assignment
Hmm.
because I tried to use it a few times and I think I did something wrong and it didn't work.
Okay.
So I just simple parented car to the hand so it would move the same time.
Okay, I see. But then when you have
Yeah,
like, but when you have that, because I kind of looked at your assignment, when you have the hands moving around, like they're still sort of sliding on top of the car, right? Did
yeah.
you have them in did you have them in like FK like the arms or
Uh, no, I don't think so. I didn't do FK.
okay? Well, I guess if you have any like more questions or trouble with it or just like remembering the order, just send me a message and I can try to help you out.
Awesome. Thank you very much for today's
Oh,
lesson.
no problem. No problem.
It was
I hope it helped. I was kind of all over the place, but yeah, I'll record it too, so you can kind of see like if you need to remember like okay, which buttons did I push and like which orders and stuff.
awesome.
Okay.
Thank
Yep.
you.
Good luck, Agatha.
Yeah, good luck to you too.
Thanks.
And see you in
Yeah.
class.
See you in class. Bye.
Bye.